Hi everyone, my name is Ramana Reddy Gunda and I'm a technical architect, enterprise service company. My specialization in conversational AI, generative AI, NLPs, retrieval augmented generation, and enterprise AI solutions. Over the last several years, I have helped organizations to build intelligent virtual assistants, AI-powered such platforms, enterprise co-pilots across healthcare, insurance and finance and customer services. So currently I am building into the LLM based AI virtual assistants. Today I would like to share how conversational AI has evolved from simple rule based chatbots into intelligence assistants capable of understanding intent, maintaining context and collaborating with human experts. By end of this session, you will understand technologies behind modern conversational AI and the design principles required to build enterprise-grade AI assistants. So now we are going to be discussing about the from rules to reasoning. The conversational AI has undergone a fundamental transformation from brittle rule-based chatbots to context-aware transformer-driven systems capable of understanding intent, managing multi-turn dialogue, and collaborating fluidly with humans. When it comes to the rule-based chatbots relied on keywords, decision trees, zero context, whereas ML classifiers improved intent detection but had limited generalizations. The transformer system understands semantics, context, and the long conversationals. Example, cancel my membership and stop my subscription represents in the same intent. The key message here is AI has shifted from following rules to the understanding meaning. So the roadmap of this session will be what we are going to be covered today is intent recognition, dialogue management, human AI and responsible AI and feature. So now we are going to be discuss about that is all these building blocks of that enterprise conversational AI. So which is the first one is intent recognition challenge. So when it comes to that, we have the three challenges. One is a noisy input, and second one is ambiguity, and third one is a multi-intent. So when I'm going to that is a noisy input, the users often make spelling mistakes, user abbreviations, or type informal messages. For example, instead of typing "please cancel my order," a customer might type "PNCL my order please." As humans, we easily understand the meaning, but traditional chatbots they rely on keyword matching often fail because they expect the exact word cancel. So this is a noisy input. So now we are going to that ambiguity. Sometimes same sentences can have different meanings. So depending on the context. So we'll jump into that example. I need a new card. The AI does not know whether the customer means a credit card or debit card or membership card unless it looks like the conversation or the customer profile. So this is the ambiguity between the words. So now we are going to the multi-intent. So what is the multi-intent? So user often asks more than one thing in a single sentence. Example, cancel my order and update my delivery address. This sentence contains two different requests. So one is a cancel the order, second one is update my delivery address. Because a traditional chatbot usually handles only one request and ignores the other one. The modern AI can identify both intents and complete them in a same conversations. So now we'll discuss about why traditional NLP struggled. Traditional NLP mainly depends on keywords and the predefined rules. It could not easily handle spelling mistakes, understand the context, or detect multiple requests on one sentence. Today, transformer models or large language models are understand the meaning behind the words instead of just matching keywords, making conversations much more natural and accurate. So now we are discussing about the transition is. So now that we have seen the challenges is understanding the user intent. Let's look at how transformer models solve the problems and significantly improve the intent recognition. So now we discuss about the intent recognition challenges. So now we are moving into the next topic is intent recognitions, so which is a transformers redefined accuracy. So now we are discussing about that is a contextual embedding and fine tuning the zero shot generalization. So when it comes to the context embeddings, the meaning of word changes based on the surrounding words, helping AI understand the correct context. Example, in Apple released a new iPhone and I ate an apple. AI understand that Apple refers to a company in one sentence and fruit in other. So this is nothing but is a contextual embedding. When it comes to the fine tune on the any business specific data, the fine tuning is a pre-trained AI model is further trained using the company specific data. So it can better understand industry terminology and customer requests. Example, so healthcare chatbot is a fine tune the medical data to accurately understand the patient symptoms and healthcare terms. So this is the one of the example just I explained here. Now we are going to that is a zero shot learning. So zero shot learning, AI can recognize and respond is a new request. It has never been specifically trained on by understanding their meaning. For example, even if the model has never seen pause my subscription, it understand it is similar to the cancel my subscription. Okay. So now we discussed about the three different type of transformers about that accuracy. So now we need to be discuss about the models. Models is nothing but BERT, RoBERTa and modern LLMs. BERT and RoBERT, these transformer models improve language understanding by learning the context from both the left and right side of the sentences, while modern LLM like GPT go further by understanding the reasoning and generating the human-like responses. So now we need to be attention to the mechanism. Attention allows that model to focus on the most important words in a sentence, helping is a better understanding the user intent and the context. Example, in I lost my credit card yesterday, the model pays more attention to lost and credit card to identify the correct intent. Okay. So this is the one of the example we are discussing about. So now we are moving into the another topic is semantic embedding in practice. The semantic embedding, so we need to discuss about what is embedding. So think of vector embedding as a way of converting words and sentences into coordinates on a map. Sentences with similar meanings are placed too close together, which helps AI understand meaning instead of just matching keywords. Example, so which we discussed previously, right? Cancel my subscription, stop my membership, and end my plan. So use different words but have the same meaning. So their vectors are close together, allowing AI to recognize them as the same intent. So mention that Azure AI search, RAG, and vector database. So these are the we can able to build into that if any specific examples, the RAG examples. Okay. So that is something we are going to be discussing here. We discussed it here. So now we are moving into dialogue management. So far we discussed about that is an intent. So now we are discussing about the dialogue management. The dialogue management is nothing but the multi-turn conversation means here the AI remembers what was discussed earlier and uses the context in the future responses. For example, if a user says book a flight into London and later says next Monday, the AI understands that next Monday refers to the trip to London without asking the user to repeat it. So this makes conversations feels much more natural and human-like. So this is the importance of that is a multi-turn conversation. This is a very basic thing is always it should be understand about the context. So now we need to discuss about the architecture, the power dialogue. So we have divided into three categories: reinforcement learning, attention mechanisms, and memory augmented networks. So we'll discuss about that first reinforcement learning. This improves the conversation quality by optimizing model responses based on human feedback or reward signals, helping the system learn so which answers are more helpful, safe, and aligned with the user intent over time. Improve conversation quality by allowing the model to focus on the most relevant attention mechanism words or context sequence, enabling the better understanding of long inputs and maintaining coherence across multi-turn dialogue. So now we need to discuss about that memory augmented networks. So improves the conversation quality by storing and retrieving relevant past information, which helps the model maintain context, personalized responses, and stay consistent across long conversations. So these are three different type of architecture we are discussing. So now the another topic is quality. So how are we going to be measure this quality, this dialogue? Okay. So now we discussed about that here. The use cases are healthcare use cases and the finance use cases and the e-commerce. When it comes to the healthcare, which we mentioned here is a symptom triage. What is a symptom triage is nothing but any patients having that any issue that is nothing but is a symptom triage. Appointment schedules. So any patient is requested for any appointment schedule with there is a follow-up appointments. So those type of things we can also mention that appointment schedules and medication reminders. When it comes to that is a finance, we need to check that account queries, fraudulent alerts, and the personalized finance guidance. So these are the areas we can able to build it into that. When it comes to that e-commerce, right? So Amazon. So when you have that book any order, right? You can check that is an order. So order status, cancel the order, and return the orders. So all these things you can check into that is a type of things. The product discovery. So all this it will be coming at enterprise support. Enterprise support is nothing but is any of that is a multinational companies who are raising that is an tickets or HR queries. Any information within that information you need to be do that is a knowledge articles. So those are the things you can build it into, you can develop into that within the organization. So why this is required? So what is the outcome of this dialogue quality? So the outcome of this business outcome is higher customer satisfaction, reduced handling time, higher first contact resolution. So this will be improved that is an that within that your organization where exactly you are going to be implement this all these solutions. So now we need to go the another topic is human and AI collaborations. So what is that human and AI collaboration is nothing but is a live agent hand up problem. So every AI will not solve the problem, but good AI to knows that is an escalate and the escalation builds is a customer trust. So which is nothing but human plus AI collaboration delivers the better outcomes. So not individually, you are mentioning that is an human and that AI collaboration is nothing but. So we need to utilize that is an available tools and we need to be integrated with solutions and that will be give that is an better outcomes. So now we are going to be discuss about that is an handoff architecture, how we are going to be do that. So when we want to discuss about that walkthrough the seamless handoff, right? The seamless handoff ensures a smooth transition between the systems or agents by detecting when a user needs an escalation and packaging all relevant context, routing to the request to the right expert systems, and briefing to the next agent so they understand the full conversation. The customer should never repeat information because the preserved context ensures the continuity, reduce the frustrations, and enable the faster and more accurate resolution without forcing to the user to restate their problem. So, which is nothing but when the call starts. So, you need to be capture that is what is the purpose of this call, what is the context. So, based on that, your intelligence routing and your questions, you need to be identify that is whom you are going to be routing to that based on the skill availability, and then brief this overall summary and those summary you need to be hand off to the agent before it's connected to the user. So this is nothing but this will be giving you to that all these problems solves up. Otherwise, the user will not explain that all the discussion. It will be taking the more time. So again, it will get the frustrations. So this is nothing but so you need to be get into that. So now handoff signals is the matter. So which I explained is now right. When it is triggered the low confidence and the negative sentiment and human requested if is a complaints. So these are the situations, right? You need to be hand up. AI can be triggered the escalations. So what are the other transferred escalate information is the conversation transcript, intent summary, customer profile, and sentiment and suggested actions, which I explained that one of that example, right? So when you are sending into that is a healthcare agent, you are transferring into that is a live human, right? So that time you need to be sent that all the summary and the customer profile. So, but at the same time, you need to follow that all the protocols, the security protocol. If it's an healthcare, right, you need to follow that PA and PHH. So those informations and those security concerns you need to be follow when you are doing that is a handoff. So always you need to be adhere that is an enterprise security rules. So now we are going to be discuss about looking ahead of multimodal, ethical, and inclusive AI. So what is a multimodal interface? Here the multimodal interface is enables more natural interactions by combining voice, vision, and text so systems can understand the response across multiple inputs time seamless. So which is nothing but voice is nothing but is IVR interaction. So when it text is nothing but is an only you need to be chat with assistant or that agent. If it's a voice means, so you need to be take a phone and call the number and then you are going to be discussed with that is nothing but is a voice. So all this you are going to be setting up with and use through the contact center applications. So here the next one is the responsible personalization is ensure that AI adapts to users needs while maintaining the transparency, consent and minimal data usage to protect user trust and privacy. So which I explained previously, right? So we need to follow the reason users trust and the privacy. So that always we need to be follow the ethical rules. So what is the bias? Bias mitigation is improves the fairness by continuously auditing data and model outputs to identify and reduce the demographic and linguistic and cultural biases. So definitely this is also you need to be followed one of the bias. Another one is inclusive design. Inclusive design ensures AI systems are accessible and usable for drivers users by considering language differences accessibility needs, varying digital literacy from the start. So now we are coming into the last slide. So which is nothing but what are the key takeaways so far we discussed. So we are categorized into the four things. One is the transformers lead, architectural matters, and handoff is a key, and Etica is a core. So what is the transformers lead? Transformers lead is because they form the foundation of modern NLP systems, delivering state-of-the-art performance in understanding the user intent and the context. So always your intent and its context is a more priority when you are building into the transformers lead. The second one is an architecture. So when you build as an any architecture, right? So first you need to be create is a dialogue systems. So without dialogue systems, right? So you are not going to be build that any of that assistant. So that will be the key feature. Dialogue systems are rely on attention and memory mechanisms to maintain the coherence and manage the long conversations. So this is a very much important while when you are developing that architecture. So the second one is when your use case having that is hand off, right? So you need to follow that all the rules which we discuss, and we need to be create the seamless escalations with preserved context and the sentiment ensure that smoother user experience without repetition of the frustrations. Okay, so once your conversations are completed, right? So you need to check that even how your conversations are captured. So that is also you need to be do that even using the sentiment analysis. So that is another feature. So that user and agent, all these handoffs of proper conversations are is capturing into that is an all the enterprise conversations and security are we following on that is also we need to be valid. That is ethics and core. Ethics and core are since responsible for AI requires fairness, transparency, and safety to be embedded throughout the system design from the beginning. So this is what I'm saying each and every topic. So ethics and core is very much important. Responsible AI is the one topic. So that we need to be follow that from the beginning of the any of the solutions which we are going to be built it into that. So these are the overall discussions. So thank you all for your time and attention and providing this opportunity to present here. I appreciate this engagement. I am happy to take any questions you may have. Thank you. Thanks everyone.